Hello, baseball fans. This is Anthony with BBSN coming to you from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. And we are here for start number 14 of the 1969 Fergie Jenkins replay. And this will be a contest that sees the Houston Astros coming to town. And Fergie has already beaten them once this season. And in this game, which took place on June 4th, 1969, the Cubbies prevailed 5-4. Real life coming into this game, Fergie had a 7-2 record, 2.44 ERA, and 103.1 innings pitched. Had struck out 75 and given up 10 long balls. In the replay, Fergie is 10-3. He's had a decision in every start. Has a still sparkling ERA of 2.02. 107 innings pitched, 89 Ks, and only 5 home runs given up. And in games that Fergie has started in real life, at this point, the Cubs were 9-4, and in the replay, obviously, they are 10-3. So let's get to our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Stros, leading off, Curt Blefary. Joe Morgan at second, bats second. The toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn, will be in center field. Norm Miller hits cleanup and is in right. Dennis Menke hits fifth, and he'll be at short. Doug Radar, the hot corner, will be batting sixth. Johnny Edwards seventh. Jesus Alou in left field bats eighth. And on the mound for the Stros, Tom Griffin. And Griffin had a fairly decent season. He was 11-10, 3.54 ERA, so a little above 500. For the Cubbies, the standard lineup with one change. Kessinger leads off at short, then Beckert at second, Billy Williams in left, Ron Santo at the hot corner, Ernie Banks at first, Randy Hundley behind the dish, and Jim Hickman gets the start in right field tonight, and Don Young will be in center. And of course, Fergie on the mound. So we will get to it as Fergie is set to face Curt Blefary. And we are underway. Play ball. And right away we have a ballpark and Wrigley. You know that's going to be wheelhouse, and Blefary has a little bit of pop for leadoff hitter, and he goes yard. Curt Blefary into the right field bleachers to lead off the game for the Stros. A solo shot, and the Astros break on top 1-0. And that will bring up Joe Morgan. And Morgan has a little pop in his bat as well. And that is one thing that's a common trait in the Stros lineup. That's going to be tough, however. And Morgan's going to fly out to left field, one down. So Blefary started this with some fireworks, and the toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn. And Jimmy Wynn, a few fun facts about him is he hits it in play, and that'll be a single. Wynn initially did not like his nickname, the toy cannon. He made his debut actually about a week ago, 55 years ago today, when I was a young lad of 4 months old. So he made his debut in the majors the same year I was born, and he didn't. He felt the nickname Toy Cannon was actually an insult to his stature. He was 5'9", and despite the fact that he only went about 165, 170 pounds, was extremely compact and muscular and had great power. In fact, in 1969, he connected for 33 bombs. And it was only after it was explained to him that that was actually a compliment in reference to a howitzer, which also a small cannon with that packed a lot of pop. He began to like the nickname, and back in the day, you could hardly read a sports page where he was mentioned without the nickname Toy Cannon being thrown in. A couple other facts about Jimmy is he was raised a few blocks from Crosley Field in Cincinnati, born in 1942. And like several of the African-American players on the Astros, he had issues with their manager, Harry Walker. And Walker pretty much acknowledged as if not a straight-out blatant racist, having racist tendencies. And Joe Morgan talked a lot about that in his book. But it was fairly well known amongst insiders on the club that Walker didn't feel that the black players could think for themselves. Therefore, he treated them much differently than he did the white players, and created obvious animosity. And the interesting fact, and the reason I bring that up, is that technically led to the Cincinnati Reds acquiring a key piece of their infield during their magical run in the 70s as Big Red Machine. And how that came about is there was a game late in the season. The Astros won, but they had the bases loaded, and Wynn was given the take sign with a 3-0 count and actually swung at the pitch, popped it up to second base. And again, the Astros did go on to win that game, but Walker fined him after the game, and it was acknowledged, and even by Wynn himself, that he ignored the sign and should not have done that. But ultimately what happened, it was really just a culmination of the tension that had been brewing between the two. And many thought that after the season ended, and this was in 1971, that the Astros would either fire Walker or trade Wynn, because it had gotten so bad, and actually neither happened. Wynn was retained, Walker kept his job, and the Astros put the blame for Wynn's behavior on Joe Morgan and considered him a bad influence, and felt that with him gone, Wynn would be a little more compliant and not so much of a, I guess, disruption in the clubhouse, if you want to use that terminology. So Joe Morgan was traded to the Cincinnati Reds, and the rest is history, and went on to have a very good run with them, and I'm sure no one in Cincinnati is complaining. So a couple of fun facts about Wynn and a little bit more on that backstory, and he is not going to try and steal. So back to the game now. One away, Wynn at first, Norm Miller up. And tough, and Fergie, a high, hard one, blows it by Miller, 2 down on the strikeout. And that brings up shortstop Dennis Menke. And Menke's going to get a ballpark roll, but this is going to be a rare play. So we will go to the in development, coming to you at some point in the future, Glory Days Baseball rare play chart, and there is a runner on first. So 89 in column 2 right here. Actually, you can't see it right here. Pitcher throws behind a batter after time called. Batter throws his bat and gets ejected. So Dennis Menke takes umbrage, calls a late timeout, and takes umbrage with Fergie sending him a message. And he is going to get an early seat to the showers and not even get credit for an at-bat. So the Astros forced to go to the bench early, and they are going to bring in Marty Martinez to play shortstop, as Menke takes his seat in the showers. And Martinez in 1969, he was a utility player, and he hit .348 against right-handers, so he does have a little bit of juice in the bat there against righties. And short, a range of C. Actually, a little bit better range than Menke, not as good defensively. And definitely no threat on the base path. So with the new batter in place, Fergie's going to bring it again, and that's going to be in play. And that'll be a ground ball down to third base, and that's going to take care of it as Santos whips it over to Banks. But the Astros break on top, a couple of hits. The leadoff home run by Blefary getting them on the board as we head to the bottom of the first, score 1-0. Tom Griffin on the hill faces Don Kessinger, and that's going to be a patient result. And Kessinger, he's going to start this by waiting for his pitch and driving a double into the gap into right center field. So Kessinger, he's done an admirable job for the Cubbies in the leadoff role this year as they have a runner in scoring position and look to get right back in the game. 6, however, will be tough, and that's going to be a fly out to left field, 1 down. So Beckert back to the bench, and sweet swinging Billy Williams looking to put one on the stairway to heaven here. And again, 6 tough. Got a little wildness going on, and swing and a miss. So after the leadoff double, Griffin has come back to sit down 2, and it's going to be up to the cleanup batter Ron Santo. Here comes your pitch, and tough again, and Santo comes up with nothing but air on that, so the leadoff double is wasted as we head to the top of the second inning. 1-0, Astros in the lead, and Fergie in an unusual position of finding himself down early in this one, and this is going to be a ground ball down to second base by Doug Rader. So Rader starts off the second inning with a ground out and brings up catcher Johnny Edwards. And Wheelhouse and Edwards! He takes one deep over the right field wall as well, and the Astros, Fergie has been strong, only 5 home runs given up all year, and he has now given up 2 in this game, and Edwards kind of an improbable person to collect one, as in 1969 he only had a total of 6. They all came against right-handers. So 2-0 lead for the Astros as Jesus Alou prepares to hit. And here comes a pitch, and that'll be patient. And Alou, he's going to ground that down to Santo, 2 away. And that brings up the pitcher spot. So Griffin has been staked to a nice lead here, and that's going to be tough, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. If there is one thing Fergie does well, it is strike out opposing pitchers, but the Astros tack on another on Edwards' shot. So we head to the bottom of the second, and Fergie in a 2-0 hole. And Ernie Banks, Mr. Cubby, steps in, and Banks is going to get tough, and he's going to fight that off for a single. So Ernie, the veteran, down on first base. And he is not able to even try and steal, so he's going to stay put. 5 will be patient, and Randy Hundley is going to wait that out for a walk. So runners on first and second now for the Cubbies as they look to get back into this. And Jim Hickman making an infrequent start in right field. Going to have a shot to do it for them, and that's tough. And Hickman does not get it done. That's a ground ball down to short. And his double play is a 6, and Griffin's is a 7, so it's split. 1 to 45 is a double play, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. So Hundley is erased for 6, and runners at the corners now with 1 out. And that brings up Don Young, and the Cubbies would like to get something done here and not have to rely on Fergie. And tough, 57, and swing and a miss. Young strikes out. So Griffin using the strikeout pitch to get out of some jams here as Fergie Jenkins steps in. Runners on the corner, 2 outs. Can he help himself? And that's going to be patient, and 69, not even going to be close as he grounds weakly to second base. So up with that is Morgan, whips it over to Blefary, and the Cubbies waste a leadoff single followed by a walk as we head to the top of the third inning now. 2-0 Astros in the lead. And Blefary, who led the game off with a long shot, steps in again, and it's going to be patient, and Blefary is going to draw a walk. So Fergie having early trouble with Blefary as his home run, and he's now on for the second time with that base on balls. Joe Morgan steps up, and that's going to be tough. And Morgan, a fly ball to center field, 2 away. And the toy cannon, the subject of our little first inning brief bio, did you know, steps in, and 9, that's going to be tough. And the toy cannon takes a big whiff, and like the mighty Casey, shatters the air, and that's all he shatters. 2 down as Fergie puts the K whammy on him. Norm Miller up, and that's going to be patient, 54, and that is going to be fought off for a single by Miller. And with 2 outs, Blefary is going to scamper over to third, so Fergie In danger of giving up a score for the third straight inning to start this game is Marty Martinez. In for the ejected Dennis Menke steps in. And tough, and Fergie brings it to him, but Martinez fights that off for a single, so that's going to get home the third run of the day for the Stros, and over to third goes Miller. And Martinez with the RBI single. So Fergie definitely, I don't think he has trailed in the game by 3 runs this entire season. So let's see if he can settle down, get out of this. Doug Rader steps in, and that'll be in play. And Rader, he's going to pop that up to second base, and Fergie is out of the inning. But a couple more hits and another run for the Stros. And we head to the bottom of the third inning, 3-0 Houston, as Don Kessinger prepares to lead off the third for the Cubbies. And 5 will be patient. Kessinger, he's going to draw the 4-pitch walk there. So second time he has been on. He led off the game with a double and was stranded. Glenn Beckert steps in. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be tough. And Beckert will be ground ball down to shortstop. And again, we have split on the double play. So 45 or less will be a DP, and again a fielder's choice. So 6-4, and Kessinger's erased. Fielder's choice for Beckert, and Beckert does not get a jump, so he stays put. Sweet swinging Billy Williams up, and he will swing away. And 8, going to be tough again, and that's going to be a ground ball down to second, and this will be a 4-3 put out. Advancing to second base goes Beckert, as that's a high chopper, and Morgan has to charge with his only plays to first. So Ron Santo now. And 3, we have our first defensive check of the game. And on that, that's an error check on shortstop, and Martinez is a 1, which is as bad as you can get. And 85, he just misses it, bobbles it, but makes the play. So 6-3, and the Cubbies are retired here in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left, and we're heading to the 4th inning, and Fergie and the Cubs trail this one 3-0. As Johnny Edwards, who went deep last time, steps in, and 8's going to be tough. And Edwards, that'll be a fly out to right field, 1 down. Gave that a good hack as well, got under it. And Jesus Alou, one of the 3 Alou brothers, Felipe and Matty being the other 2 who played in the 60s and 70s. And defensive check for Fergie. It's going to be a range check on the first baseman, Ernie Banks, and that former shortstop down there. You know he's going to get to that. Ernie with a nice play. Pitches that underhand over to Jenkins covering, and 2 down. And Tom Griffin, who has stymied the Cubs thus far, steps in. And 5 will be patient, and Griffin not going to be able to draw the base on balls. However, he hits a weak ground ball down to Santo at third, and 3 up, 3 down. Go the Stros in the 4th inning, so Fergie hopefully settling in a little bit now. But the Cubs, as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. So Ernie Banks leading it off for the Cubs, and that's going to be tough. And that will be a ground ball down to shortstop. So Banks is erased, 6-3. Martinez over to Bleffery on the put out. Randy Hundley steps in. He walked his first time up. And 9, that's going to be a ballpark, and that's going to be Wheelhouse and Hundley. He's got a few this season. He gets a big cut at this, and a harmless fly ball to left field. It died at the track and just a loud long out, 2 down, and Jim Hickman up. And 9 again. That's another ballpark result, but that is going to be in play. So Griffin has ballpark in an unfavorable spot, and Hickman's going to single right back up the middle. So the Cubbies trying to get a little 2-out business going here as Don Young steps up to the plate. And here comes a pitch, and patient and Young, he's going to draw a base on balls. So first and second now, and again the pitcher spot. However, it is only the 4th inning, too early to pinch hit for Fergie. He is only down 3-0, so he's going to have to swing away and hope for the best. And patient result, and Fergie is going to single. So that is going to get home a run, as over to third goes Young. And coming around to score is Jim Hickman. So Fergie Jenkins say, hey, got myself into this mess. I'm going to help get myself out. A 2-out RBI single. And that plates Hickman back to the top of the order for Kessinger. And ballpark again, and 39, wheelhouse. So the Cubbies on the verge of maybe a big inning here. And Kessinger, it is gone. Scrapes the wall just over the left field basket. And the fans are going nuts. Kessinger comes through with a 3-run dinger. And that vaults the Cubbies into the lead, 4-3. And all this happening with 2 outs, as coming in to score is Young. And the key blow there really was Fergie Jenkins with an RBI single. So the Cubbies now have gone from 3 down to leading by a run, and that bodes well for Jenkins as patient to Glenn Beckert. And Beckert, he's going to single into left field. So Griffin is falling apart, and over in the Astros bullpen, it looks like Dooley Womack has started to loosen up, which is a pretty solid baseball name. And Beckert is going to see if he can steal. He cannot. And sweet swinging Billy Williams, 2 outs now. Steps in, and 8's going to be tough. And Williams, the inning will finally come to a merciful end for the Astros as he grounds it down to third base, and Radar takes care of him. But the Cubbies, they come up with 4 big hits and 4 runs. The big shot being the 3-run blast by leadoff hitter Don Kessinger. And we head to the top of the 5th. Cubs lead at 4-3. So Kurt Blefary leads off the 5th, and the Astros a little shell-shocked here, and tough. And Blefary, though, he's going to fight that pitch off for a single. So he continues to be a thorn in the side of Fergie Jenkins. That is the 3rd time he has been on base. He's scored twice, has a home run. Joe Morgan up. And 5 will be patient. And Joe, he works a base on balls, and that's the 2nd one Fergie's given up. So the Astros fighting right back in, and our mini spotlight player today, Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon. Runners on first and second, a chance to make some noise. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be tough, and going to be a fly out to left field. Not deep enough to move anyone along, so 1 down as Wynn takes a vicious hack but gets under it. Norm Miller, the batter now. Miller struck out and singled. And here comes a pitch from Fergie. That's going to be tough, and Fergie blows it right by him, throws him on the inside part of the plate. So 2 down, and that brings up Marty Martinez. And Martinez, taking over for the ejected Dennis Menke in the 1st, has grounded out and singled, knocked in a run. 9's going to be tough, and Martinez, Fergie has none of that this time as he gets a slider, gets him waving, and gets out of the inning after giving up a single and a walk to start it. So 1 hit. No runs, no errors, 2 left, and we head to the bottom of the 5th. Cubbies lead this one 4-3. And Griffin, he will definitely be pinch hit for next time he comes up if he gets out of this inning. Ron Santo set to lead it off for the good guys in the friendly confines, and that is going to be tough, and Santo fly out to right field. So 1 down, Ernie Banks will be the batter. He is 1 for 2, has singled and grounded out to shortstop. Ernie drops his helmet, picks it back up. And Griffin patient, and Ernie is going to ground that down to short. 2nd time he's done that. So 2 quick outs for Griffin and the Astros here in the bottom of the 5th. And Randy Hundley will be the batter. Hundley is walked and flown out to left field, and another tough result, and Hundley overpowered by that fastball right down the middle, but a little bit high, and he goes down swinging. So nice bounce back for Griffin as the Cubbies go in order. We head to the 6th, still 4-3 Chicago. And Radar set to lead it off. Here comes a pitch from Fergie. Tough, and Fergie, his 3rd strikeout in a row. He's got the K-ball going now. He says que paso to Radar, who heads back to the dugout. Johnny Edwards up. Edwards has homered and flown out to right field. And 5, that'll be Patient, and he's going to get a single here. So Edwards drives that right back through the box and into center field. So the pitcher spot could come up here. 1 down, runner on first base, and Edwards needed a 3 to try and steal. Will not. Jesus Alou steps into the box, and that's tough. And Alou fly out to right field, so 2 down. And next up is the pitcher spot, and the Astros are going to bring in a pinch hitter. And to the bench they go. And it is going to be Sandy Valdespino. So, fairly effective day outside of 1 inning for Griffin, but he ends up only going 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them are earned. And he will be charged with three walks and 4 strikeouts and a very big home run to Don Kessinger. And Dooley Womack will be the new pitcher for the Astros. And Valdespino digs in now. 2 outs, runner on first base. Fergie kicks, delivers, and 8's going to be tough. Valdespino cold off the bench, no match for the Heat as he goes down swinging. So 1 hit for the Astros, 1 left, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubbies lead this one 4-3 still. And Jim Hickman set to lead it off, and the new pitcher, Dooley Womack. Also a right-hander, loosens up, he is ready to go. And that is going to be 4 in play, and that is going to be a double by Hickman. So Jim Hickman, taking advantage of a rare start, gaps that one, and the Cubbies are in business to start the 6th. John Young, the batter, and Womack ballpark, and 47 against the right-hander. That's wheelhouse. Young with a big hack, and this ball is grounded weakly to shortstop. And an 8 there, that is inside and outside, so actually there was no double play, so runner will hold on second, and 6-3 ground out by Young. And that will bring up Fergie. So Hickman on second. Jenkins already has 1 RBI and 1 hit in this game. And that's going to be in play. Not going to happen this time, however. That's a ground ball down to second base. That will get the runner to third. So 2 down, and Hickman is 90 feet away as Don Kessinger comes back up, and he's had a good day. A double, a walk, and a 3-run home run, which is the decisive blow in this one thus far. And tough, and Kessinger, he's going to fight that off again, and yet another single, and that's going to extend the Cubbies' lead. So Kessinger having a monster day at the plate. That is his 4th RBI, 3rd hit. He has a walk to go with that as well. He's down there feeling his oats. He's going to see if he can steal here. Does not get the jump. Glenn Beckert now the batter. And Beckert, 6. That'll be tough, and he'll go down. Actually, will not go down. Beckert does not strike out easily. He's going to fight that off. Opposite field single. And moving over to third is Kessinger with 2 outs. So Dooley Womack, he was tasked with keeping the Astros close, and he is not doing it yet. Fred Gladding has begun to warm up in the Astros bullpen as well, as sweet swinging Billy Williams steps in. And 11, that'll be a defensive check and a range check on the shortstop, which is Marty Martinez, and he is a C. So range is C and 54, and he just gets to that. And that will be the third out of the inning. But the Cubbies come up with another run on 3 hits and leave 2 as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Cubs in front of this 5-3. And top of the order, Kurt Blefary, and Blefary has homered, walked, and singled. Fergie looking to retire him for the first time today. And patient result, and finally going to get it done with a ground ball down to Kessinger, 1 down. Joe Morgan steps in, gets the chicken wing going there with the elbow. Here comes the pitch, and that's in play, and Morgan drives that hard into right field. Line drive single. So the Astros looking to rally, and in the Chicago bullpen now, a lefty and a righty. The left-hander Billy McCool and the right-hander Ted Abernathy are warming up. As Joe Morgan, a 6, and he'll try and run, does not get it. And the toy cannon Jimmy Wynn up. Fergie kicks, delivers, and that's going to be in play. And Wynn, 65, will be a ground ball down to second base, and that is a split on the double play chance. So again, 45 or less, and gets it done. So 4-6-3 double play. The Cubbies turn that nicely. The Astros have a hit, no runs, no errors, nobody left, and we head to the 7th inning stretch here at the old ball game. Your score, Cubbies 5, Astros 3, is Ron Santos set to lead it off. And here comes a pitch. Dooley Womack in play, and Santo, he's going to drive a sharp single into left field and starts off the 7th inning. The Cubbies have a base runner, Santo. Not really a threat to run, and he's going to try anyway, the knucklehead. So behind the plate for the Cubbies, or the Astros, Edwards has an arm of 2. And Santo is an F. Oh my God. Sometimes a dice. He needs a 99 to be safe. I'll just close my eyes and say he's out. He doesn't even bother sliding. He just gives himself up. So not a very smart move by Santos. He's gunned down, and Ernie Banks will hit with 1 out. And patient, and Banks, he's going to drive that one into left field. So that could be costly. Santo getting fancy, trying to channel his inner Lou Brock, which unfortunately does not exist, is thrown out. And 8 is going to be tough, and 77 for Hundley, and that will be a fly out to right field, 2 away. As Jim Hickman steps up. Hickman's had a good day. Fielder's choice, single and a double. He scored twice. And patient, and Hickman's going to draw a base on balls. So runners on first and second, and catcher talks to Womack. They want to get him through this inning. Don Young up, runners on first and second, 2 down. Here comes a pitch, and 8 is tough. And Young, ground ball down to short. Martinez up with that over to Blefary, and the side is retired. So the Cubbies get a couple of hits, leave 2, but cannot score. And we head to the 8th. Cubbies in front, 5-3. And Fergie, his fatigue kicks in the 9th, so they're going to try and let him go 1 more inning here. Strohs will make a change. Gladding will be in the next inning. So Womack goes 2 innings. Wasn't extremely successful. He gave up 5 hits and a run, and also walked a batter. and did not do his job with keeping it a one-run game. It's going to play out perfect for the Cubs as Fergie is set to lead off the 8th, so they will pinch hit for him there as Norm Miller steps in for the Astros. And Miller in play, 21, is going to be a single. So that is considering or hoping that Fergie gets out of this inning, and with a 2-run deficit, they're not going to try any stolen base shenanigans. Marty Martinez up, and tough result there, and Martinez ground ball down to second base, and 6. That is in Fergie's and Martinez's double play range, so a 4-6-3 double play, a huge twin killing there as Beckert makes a nice scoop over to Kessinger, who completes the pivot, and 2 down, nobody on. Doug Radar, the batter. He has popped up, grounded out, and struck out. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be in play, and Radar is going to double. He drives that into the gap, so that would have gotten a run home more than likely. And Fergie running on fumes now, trying to get through the 8th. Johnny Edwards, who took him deep earlier in the game. And tough, 74, and Fergie, a harmless fly ball to center field, and Young's under that. So a couple of hits go by the board for the Astros as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And our score, Cubbies 5, Astros 3, and that is going to be it for Jenkins. And Abernathy is going to be the new pitcher for the Cubbies. So we'll close the book on Fergie, not one of his more stellar outings of the season, but he is winning still. In fact, he gave up 10 hits, which might be a season high. 3 runs, all of them were earned, 2 of them home runs. And he walked 1, 2, walked 2 and struck out 7. So not bad numbers there, and Abernathy will be asked to close this down. And just to make sure, Phil Regan is also loosening up in the Cubbies pen. And the pitch hitter for Fergie in the bottom of the 8th inning will be none other than Al Spanky Spangler, who thought he was going to have the day off, not working out as he had planned. But one at bat is easily doable here as Gladding warms up, and here comes a pitch. And 10, that will be ballpark, and 48, so this might be a nice one-shot appearance for Spangler in his wheelhouse, and no! Grounds it down to shortstop. He got over the top of a good pitch and could not do anything with it. So 1 down. And back to the top of the order, Don Kessinger, shortstop up. Comes a pitch from Gladding, and 7's going to be in play. And Kessinger, he's going to keep his torrid day going. And that is yet another hit, his second double of the day. So 2 doubles, a home run, a single, and a walk. And Kessinger 4 for 4. And I think we know who our Cubbies player of the game is going to be. And the pitch to Beckert, and 2 is going to be in play. Beckert, that'll be a fly out to center field, 2 away. Kessinger scampers back to second base. Sweet swinging Billy Williams, and Williams 0 for 4 today. And not going to get any better there, as that is a tough result. Ground ball down to second. The inning is over. So the Cubbies get a 1-out double but cannot score. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. Cubs continue to cling to a 5-3 lead. And Ted Abernathy going to look to shut this down. And it will be Edwards, Alou, and the pitcher spot, which will mean a pinch hitter. And 5, and that's going to be tough. And Edwards goes down swinging. Abernathy starts the 9th off in fine form. Actually, that would be Alou. Sorry, Edwards was the last out in the 8th. And that will still be a strikeout. So Alou, tough to strike out, but Abernathy able to get him with a tough pitch. And that is going to bring up the pitcher spot. And Gary Geiger will come off the bench to pinch hit. And the left-hander looking to keep the game alive for the Astros, and that's going to be tough. Not going to get it done. That's a ground ball down to second base. Beckert over to Banks, 2 down. So the Cubbies 1 out away, and Fergie 1 out away from win number 11 in a less than stellar outing. Kurt Blefary up, and Blefary has homered, singled, and walked, grounded out to short. Here comes a pitch. And in play, and Blefary, a fly ball to left field. Coming in is Billy Williams. He's going to tap the glove, take it, and the game is over. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Abernathy, who gets the save. And Fergie going to skate by and get his 11th win of the year as the Cubs take it 5-3. And our final numbers. So 1 hit, just adding up the pitching numbers here. So the Astros, they get 3 runs on 10 hits, no errors. A couple of long balls were instrumental in contributing there. The Cubbies, they get 5 runs on 12 hits, no errors. And that is your final score, 5-3 Cubs. Player of the game, I don't think there's any doubt about it in this one. Don Kessinger had an exceptional game. He led off the first inning with a double, walked, and then came up with a huge 3-run homer in the 4th, drove in another run with an RBI single in the 6th, and double in the 8th. So Kessinger, 4 for 4 on the day, 1 run scored, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, a home run, and a walk. Great day at the plate for Don. Fergie goes to 11-3 on this replay. And hope you enjoyed this. And if always, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, leave a thumbs up. And recommend the channel to your friends. Any comments or suggestions. And I appreciate everyone who watches. And again, please feel free to support the friends of the channel on the left side of my page there. Some great YouTubers, a lot of sports gaming, sports talk, and general war gaming even, and TV shows TV show reviewing. So next up, we're not going to start a full-blown replay, but next up, we're going to have a little Manchester derby, so I can get some more experience with Soccer Blast. So that will be next on the channel. Man City will travel to Old Trafford to take on Man U in what should be a barn burner. And we'll see if Man U can slow down the City juggernaut, which absolutely ran away with the EPL last year. So until then, and reminder, Thursday night live at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. The Glory Days Boxing Heavyweight Championship of the World, 15 rounds for the title. Jack Johnson versus Jack Dempsey. Please tune in and root for your favorite, and we will see you later. And until next time, keep rolling for the fences. Have a great day, everyone.